Hey everyone, I wanted to make a quick video about curation on Hive. I see there's still a lot of confusion about how it actually works from new users, but also some from the old users who are either coming back to Hive or they just haven't been aware of the changes and like the latest hard fork. Like there's a lot of people who still think that front running is a thing, even though it is, but not really to the point of how they think of it. For instance, like if I were to upload this post here now, and which is posted just a few seconds ago, people would assume, or some people who aren't aware would assume that I'm voting it early because I want to increase my curation APR. But that's not really valid anymore. That's not a thing anymore. In the past, it used to be that those who vote early would get a little bit extra returns if more people voted the post later. But that's been like changed a long time ago. And Hive has had like a lot of experimentation with curation. We've gone back and forth on many things. In the beginning it used to be 75% authors, 25% curators of the reward split. And like a lot of changes, the penalty, there was like a penalty to not vote too early at one point as well, because obviously most bots would be the ones to vote on the first second that someone posted something to get like the biggest share of the curation, like the front runner rewards. So that's not really a thing anymore, and currently we're like on a linear curve where what you provide is usually what you get, and the only time that is like an exception now is if you vote posts that are older than 24 hours, meaning 1 day. So the way things work now is that if you were to vote something a day late, let's see here in my feed, if I were to go down all the way, I can maybe give you an example. This one is still within 24 hours. Okay, let's look at this one. So if I go to this post, you can see that there's 7 Hive worth of rewards, or dollars, and you can see if you check the advanced feature, you can see that this user, he voted this post up for 2.1 dollars worth, and his curation rewards is going to be half of it. Like that's the current split, 50-50. And you can see here as well that everyone voted like within the first day. It's not, I don't think there's any, I'm not sure if this is based on, I don't think it's based on like any descending order or anything on when they voted. But there's not many people who voted, who may have voted after 24 hours. But I'm going to do it now just to give you an idea. So you can like memorize this, that is 213, 2113, and he's receiving half of it in curation. This is probably the same, yeah. So based on this now, I'm going to vote it up. Let's say with 1 Hive, just to make it easy. And you'll be able to tell the difference of how much curation rewards I'm going to lose. And then I'll talk a little bit more about, or it's probably going to take a while until it updates. Let me check. Alright, so now let's see here my vote. As you can see, I voted for 1 Hive, around that. And my curation returns are not 0.5, which they should be, but they're lower because I voted after 1 day, after 24 hours. And this now instead means that everyone else is getting a bit extra because they voted within the first day window. So this is how it's basically how it works right now. And every day, every 24 hours, the penalty gets larger. So if you were to vote a post on the 6th day, you're going to earn very little. If there's a lot of voters and a lot of stake behind the votes. But in an example where, let's say no one has voted the post, it has 0 rewards, then of course you're not going to lose any penalty because there's no one else to lose it to. So even if you have a trail with people voting after you, you all voted in the same day's bracket. so none of you lose any returns to anyone else. So there's no front running in that sense anymore. The only way you can front run is if you know someone's going to, for some reason or another, going to vote a post on the 6th day, or like the 5th or 4th, you know, any day that's not the first 24 hours. Another thing I want to mention that many forget is that if you vote a post 12 hours before payout, there's still a penalty there. It increases every hour. Like if you vote, if it says, you know, 12 hours until payout, you're still fine probably. But if it says 11 hours until payout, then you're going to be like your vote value is going to lose about 8% or so in strength. And same with your curation rewards, it's going to be lower because your vote is just not going to have the same strength. And this is implemented to avoid abuse. Like let's say there's a farm activity with certain accounts that want to, you know, go undetected and vote a post on the last second or the last minute or whatever. This is so that they can't get away with it before someone were to notice it and downvote the post. Basically, that's the only reason. But yeah, other things I wanted to talk about that may affect your curation rewards. You can also see here on hivestats.io, if you go and then /username, you can there's this efficiency tab here. Of course, these are downvotes, so it's not going to matter. But here you can see that some posts and comments are going to return me more curation rewards compared to the value that I've given away. This is probably because some accounts have voted higher. You can you know, check all of them, like why this is getting more or less rewards. And you can see here that I voted the post on like a day before Mr. Boom. So he's basically making it so that I'm going to earn more on this vote, and he's going to earn less instead for his vote. So like everything can be tracked, everything is, you know, public on the blockchain. And similarly, you can go and check then, you know, are there any posts that have low efficiency? And this brings me to my next thing as well that I wanted to talk. This one, I guess, may have received some downvotes because I voted it 4 hours after the post was out. Oh, it was okay. I only voted this up because I'm getting like a lot of downvotes, and someone had voted it, but it wouldn't have crossed the dust threshold, which is something I also wanted to bring up. So I just bumped it up a little bit so it crossed the 0.02 dust threshold. And yeah, that's basically it. So one way to see why this one had such low returns. Hard to say. I guess I just voted it late. Yeah. Okay, that was it. Alright, so dust threshold and downvotes. So downvotes affect your efficiency. Like if someone, of course, downvotes for a certain amount of Hive power, then you're going to not get the same curation rewards. You're not going to get the 50% split. And what was the dust threshold with curation rewards? It's the lowest amount of curation rewards you can earn is 0.001, but the post itself or comment, it has to pass the dust threshold, which is 0.02, and that's like in dollar amount, so it kind of also varies with the price. A user with, let's say, 500 high power, maybe it's a bit less, maybe 200, I don't know, I haven't checked in a while, but let's say someone with 200, maybe his 100% vote is not going to get a comment or a post in and of itself past the threshold. Like my 1% vote here, for instance, it's not getting accounts past to the 0.02, which means that if no one else votes on top of it, if it doesn't cross that border, then the post or the comment is not going to earn any rewards at all. And in exchange, also all the voters are not going to get any curation rewards. So if this post were to be at 0.02, then everyone is going to earn curation rewards, even if it's like, let's say 10 minnows, and you know, all their votes are only worth 0.002. If all of them vote a post up to 0.02, then all of them are going to earn the curation rewards that they voted for, which is, it will be like 0.001, I guess. So you can earn the minimum amount of curation, but you can't earn the minimum amount of author rewards. That one is the 0.02 threshold. Okay, so downvotes, yeah, it's similar to the penalty. It just, you know, it lowers the value of the author rewards, and curators are penalized based on how much you lowered it. If a post is at $10 and the author is going to earn $5 while the curators are going to earn 5, let's for simplicity's sake say that that's like 20 Hive in curation rewards. Then if someone goes and downvotes it for $5, the author is only going to get 2.5. The curators are also only going to get 2.5. So instead of getting 20 Hive for your upvote, you're only going to get 10 Hive because somebody downvoted half of it away for whatever reason. So that's the other thing, how you can like maintain your APR. And the regular APR, if you're constantly at 100%, is around 8.5%, which I think shows here on the wallet section. Okay, here so it shows 2 or like 3% to 13, and this is based on curation APR and the APR from just holding high power itself. Like you get around 3% high power over time just from holding high power. So if you have 100,000 high power, you're going to earn 3,000 high power per year just for holding it, even if you don't vote, even if you don't post. As long as it's staked, you earn some APR. And then the additional is 8.5%. And also keep in mind that this is APR, meaning that you can earn curation rewards every day, every hour, you know, every minute, based on how you vote. So the next vote is, of course, if you claim rewards often, the next vote is going to be a little bit more, like a little bit stronger. So its APY, you know, might be a little bit higher than 13%. And okay, I think I covered most. The decline payout as well, that's another thing. Sometimes you can decline payouts on posts. You can do this, and this is like one of the worst options really for, I mean, this would be reserved like if you don't want anyone to vote it and you don't want to accept any author rewards. Usually what you may see is that people donate the rewards to the Hive fund, meaning they're not getting any author rewards, but the people who voted, even like if it's auto voters or people who just want to give the post some attention, even though they understand that he is not accepting any author rewards, then the voters are still going to earn their curation rewards. But it's just that the author rewards get sent to the Hive fund. And burn does the same thing. The author rewards are burned. This is to liquidate your author rewards, so you don't get high power, but you get liquid Hive and HBD instead. This is of course to get 100% everything in high power, and this is the other default, to get half in HBD and half in high power of your 50% high author rewards. So if you have decline, both the author and the curator don't earn anything in that case. And yeah, I think that was pretty much it. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. I just thought I'll make a quick video about this because there's still some confusion here and there. I also see people who often vote late or they reblock posts late, and it's like, you know, like you can always vote some posts even if you know that you're not going to get 100% of your curation rewards back. But doing it like too much, then you know it's just going to incentivize people to try and you know, front run those posts in the future. There's a lot of weird things happening sometimes where some accounts know that some others are gonna vote late, so they go and vote for those authors even though maybe those authors don't really deserve or have earned it in different ways. They're just voting it to get an extra curation rewards because one of the voters who's voting late for some reason is forfeiting most of their curation rewards in exchange, or it goes to the people who voted first instead. So there's a lot of weird things. There's some bots who focus on checking this. Let's say if I for some reason that account that I voted earlier, if I were to always vote it up a day late, then they're going to notice that hey, this guy is for some reason voting this post up a day late every time. They're gonna start auto-voting that author all the time, which can result in, depending on how big the account doing the late voting is, it can result in a lot of trails and stake voting on certain authors way too much, just to get a share of that extra curation rewards that account is forfeiting, which also makes things a bit unfair in my opinion. So now you at least can look out for these things and maybe don't always read blog posts that are very late. If the rewards are very low, then it's not that big of a deal. You can still read blog posts that you may have missed or whatever. If you just want to do it for the attention, the visibility, the potential for follows or whatever, then yeah. But you should just know that curators are maybe not going to be that happy, or they're not gonna jump to the chance to vote it up if they see that it's very late often. Me myself, I also run a curation project, and we have a lot of delegators from all sizes. So we always encourage our curators to nominate and vote up posts within the first 24 hours so that the delegators don't get penalized too much. And at the same time to not encourage some kind of front running and curation sniping that we fought a lot to avoid. But of course sometimes you're also, a post is just that good that you don't care about the curation reward penalty, and you still want to reward it that much because you just happen to see it late. And that's perfectly fine. That's the way the current scheme, or the system, how it works, is set up. I think that's the idea behind it, and sometimes it makes life difficult for some projects because they're not always there to see the post within the first 24 hours. But there's different ways to reward people, so there's always something else you can do. You can give them a follow to make sure you get their next post. You can maybe vote one of their recent comments up instead, or set some alerts up on your Friday bot, or have some special lists on Peaked to make sure you don't miss their next post when they post, and that you get there early to give them the rewards you wanted to give them earlier. Anyway, I kind of ran out of things to talk about here with curation now, so let me know if you still have any questions, or if something was unclear. Maybe I didn't give enough good examples or something. So let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time in another video about Hive probably. Cheers.